It's not many people that still want a truck. More people are starting to buy SUVs, crossovers, and you rarely hear anybody say, hey, I want a pickup truck. That doesn't happen. But this is going to be a video about the Toyota Tacoma that has us in a complete chokehold. For anybody that's thought about buying a truck, it's almost a guaranteed answer that whenever they say it, the first thing that they say is, hey, I want a Toyota Tacoma. It's always a Toyota Tacoma. It's never a Honda Ridgeline, Nissan Frontier, Ford Ranger. It's never any of those things. It's always, I want a Toyota Tacoma. So in today's episode, I'm going to be exploring how a Toyota Tacoma over the course of the last 28 years has had us in a chokehold. So stick around and stay tuned because you are now watching the breakdown. As always, this video has been brought to you by myfico.com. Myfico.com is the nation's #1 resource for automotive lenders to determine your credit worthiness. Before you go check your credit score, don't check Credit Karma. Go check fico.com as it gives you the most accurate resource for your credit needs. Go ahead and click in the link for the description below to get 20% off your next purchase or $40 a month with subscriptions and fees applying. Don't go to the dealership and waste your time and theirs by not having the right credit score, and that can only be done through fico.com. And now back to the show. I want to let y'all know that I don't really go off scripts. I be trying to read, but it don't really be working out for me. So bear with me. If I sound a little slow, just tell me to edit better. Anyway, the compact truck segment has been a tightly competitive one. For most people, when you do hear them talk about trucks, you will almost always hear them say, I want a Toyota Tacoma. And I got to thinking, why is that? Why do we always want a Toyota Tacoma? There's so many other, well, there's not really that many options out there. There's so many other options out there. I think it's safe to say there's a reason why the Toyota Tacoma has been the #1 selling truck for Toyota and small compact trucks alike for the last 20 years. So let's get into it. I'm going to try to keep this video short and concise, so bear with me. We all know my videos don't be concise like that. Let me take it like 30 minutes. If you or your friends have ever thought about buying a pickup truck, because there are still people that like those outside of crossovers and SUVs, you're almost always going to hear them say a Toyota Tacoma. Why the Toyota Tacoma has us in a chokehold, I don't know. But what I can tell you is for the last 30 years, the Toyota Tacoma has been the #1 best-selling compact truck in its segment, alongside the Ford Ranger, the Nissan Frontier, and the Honda Ridgeline and Chevy Colorado. The Tacoma continues to dominate that market. For starters, the Toyota Tacoma has been around for the last 20 years, hitting the market back in 1995. It was produced in Fremont, California, and it was designed to replace the Toyota Hilux that was sold worldwide. Now, this was introduced as the Toyota Hilux worldwide, but in America, we simply called it the Toyota Pickup. Since its introduction, the Toyota Tacoma has undergone several updates and redesigns, and it has always maintained a reputation for being a rugged and reliable truck. The Tacoma is built at the Toyota's manufacturing plant in Texas, in Plano, I believe. I'm not sure about that. It's always put through a rigorous testing to ensure durability and reliability. And I know y'all are tired of me talking about Toyota reliability, and nobody cares. Of course we know the Toyota Tacoma is reliable. That's why most people buy it, because it's a simple choice. It's kind of like just picking oatmeal and putting blueberries in there. But despite being relatively unchanged, it's almost a question of why do people keep buying this truck? Well, I've got a few things for you, but before we get into it, I'm gonna go over the history and explain why the Toyota Tacoma is the beast that it is. In terms of the United States, the Toyota Tacoma is the best-selling compact pickup truck ever. In 2005, the Tacoma sold a total of 168,811 units, completely overtaking the competitors, the Ford Ranger and the Nissan Frontier. By 2022, the Tacoma sold a total of 215,853 units, with an all-time high of 252,490 units. Now, some of this is due to the inflated rates in the market of the pandemic, but that does not take away from the success of the Tacoma. This is truly a testament to its popularity, and it almost meets every box that you have to check off for your expectations when buying a pickup truck. A little fun fact is that from 2005 up until 2020, the Nissan Frontier remained relatively unchanged, which explains why nobody bought it. I'm kidding. I love Nissan. Y'all go check out that video on Nissan if y'all ain't seen it yet. So if you're in the market for one and you don't want to pay the Toyota Tacoma prices, which I strongly encourage, or you don't pay Ford Ranger prices or Honda Ridgeline, you can go get one of them for dirt cheap from 2005 to 2020, and it's the same. For a second generation, the Tacoma came in 18 iterations, and by comparison, the Ford Ranger and Nissan Frontier only came in 4 trims against the 18 that the Toyota offered, which is 4.5 times of what they offer. Those iterations came out to create a variety of features that made your driving experience as a Tacoma driver much more comfortable and convenient. So in those iterations, the Toyota Tacoma comes with a variety of features to make your driving experience more comfortable, convenient. In its most recent generation, standard features include a rear view camera, which I don't know who anybody body doesn't have, a touchscreen infotainment system, Toyota Safety Sense, and a ton of safety suite technologies that make your driving experience better and safer. Higher trims include features such as a JBL audio premium system, a moonroof, and power rear sliding window, which is not something that you'll see on the others. Maybe the Ford Ranger, but not really. It is built for both performance on and off-road, and it has a comprehensive package, one of them being the powerful V6 and advanced suspension system that make it a capable off-roader, while its comfortable and well-equipped interior make it a great option for daily driving. And that's the beauty of it. It can switch from Dr. Jekyll to Mr. Hyde. The Toyota Tacoma also comes with a ton of aftermarket support as well as off-road packages such as the TRD off-road package, which includes features like all-terrain tires and locking rear slip differential, which is crazy because you don't really get that in trucks anymore. Well, unless you put it in there, let me not lie. But that's not what makes it special. For comparison, the Ford Ranger also offered an off-road package called the FX4. However, the power was substantially lower at 117 horsepower as opposed to the Tacoma's 236 horsepower V6. Also, the Frontier did come with a slightly higher horsepower engine at 261, but that doesn't necessarily make it better because they have more horsepower, but it was a great alternative. As I said before, the Toyota Tacoma comes with a wide range of cutting-edge technology. For example, it comes with a rear view camera. Higher trim levels offer a 360-degree camera, which is much nicer, a lane departure warning system, and automatic high beams. And if you've never had that, that's an excellent feature. And when it comes to infotainment, the Tacoma also comes with a high-resolution touchscreen standard and Apple CarPlay and Android Auto compatibility, because for a long time they only had Intune and they weren't trying to give that to you. In terms of price, the Toyota Tacoma is relatively affordable at $25,000, which is still a great value in comparison to the Ford Ranger, which its starting price is $26,900, and the Nissan Frontier, which is $29,000, and you still don't get the same level of reliability, features, and value that you would get from a Toyota Tacoma. Obviously, when it comes to a Toyota Tacoma, it's a great value and it's really hard to beat. The combination of features, performance, and reliability do make it an excellent choice, but it almost begs the question, why do people keep driving and how did it maintain its domination over the market? So I'm gonna go ahead and let you guys know now. Aside from value, a few things happened. So remember when I said that the Nissan Frontier had essentially remained unchanged for 15 years from 2005 up until 2020? Yeah, so that gave Toyota the upper hand because there weren't many competitors in that segment to begin with, and because it never really evolved, in addition to the housing crisis of 2008, that caused many manufacturers to pull back in what we call marketing terms the dog. It didn't give Nissan incentive to further propel the development of the Nissan Frontier, which was one of the better selling portions of the segment, because the Ford Ranger also was seen as a dog because the market was shrinking. So Ford alongside Nissan were both facing some financial blunders, so they did not work on those. Meanwhile, Toyota took complete advantage of that and they said, we're going to focus on this Tacoma and we're going to further put better specs into it so that it continues to be one of the greater products that we offer. For perspective, at the time back in 2000 with the Nissan Renault merger, Carlos Ghosn, as I said in another video, pretty much was the one responsible for rehabilitating Nissan, and that included not working on the Nissan Frontier, which is kind of funny because Alan Mullally was introduced around 2005, 2006 to help better Ford, and that was when they said, we're not working on that Ford Ranger, we're just going to focus on the F-150. And as I said before, this left the road wide open for Toyota. Now, one could argue that the Chevy Colorado alongside the Honda Ridgeline were competitors. How so in the ever? And as much as I am a Honda stan, I will go ahead and tell you the Honda Ridgeline had a brief hiatus in 2014 to 2017, and it also was a niche truck. It was a unibody frame, which unlike the Toyota is a body on frame design, and it wasn't seen as a traditional truck. Also, the Ford Ranger was a derivative of the Mazda B3000, so it wasn't a true truck in itself. And the Ford Ranger was sold outside of the US from 2010 on, but because it wasn't in the US market, that allowed Toyota Tacomas to pretty much dominate the market. And the Chevy Colorado isn't a bad truck, but it's got a very cheap interior. It's not that great in terms of packaging and value what you get, as well as is a bit pricey. So that's also why it was not quite the competitor, unlike the Silverado, which is a great competitor to the F-150, the Toyota Tundra, and the Nissan Titan. Oh yeah, and I definitely cannot forget the Dodge Ram. Y'all eat me up in the comments for that. So all in all, Nissan's lack of evolution, Ford's dropped from the segment up until recently, which is about 2018, and Honda's lackluster design and marketing ultimately allowed the Toyota Tacoma to prosper within the segment. So now that we've gotten out the way of how it dominated the market, the better question is, should you buy one? So if you're in the market for a pickup truck and you're wondering, should I buy a Toyota Tacoma or should I get something like a Nissan Frontier or Ford Ranger, I'm going to tell you to go ahead and get one. The resale value on Toyota Tacomas is absolutely wild, and you also get Toyota reliability and you get a great array of features for what you pay for. You almost never really lose money on a Toyota Tacoma, and to be frank with you, you can easily get 200 to 300,000 miles out of a Toyota Tacoma because most people that tend to have those trucks are work people, and a lot of times they do take care of their trucks. But I say all that to say is that because Toyota's reliability continues to remain a great feat, I would argue, yes, go get one. It may be a little pricey, but you can get one with 150,000 miles, and the Toyota Tacoma has barely been broken in. Of course, no car or truck is perfect, and there are a few years to stay away from, one of them being the 2009 model for the interior accessories, as well as the 2016, which was, by the way, a redesign, has some transmission issues, so I would stay away from those two. Otherwise, go for it, go get one, go buy one. You're more than likely to be completely satisfied with your purchase. It may not be the most exciting drive, but it does do everything you need it to do. Well, we're at the end of the video. So now that we're at the end of the video, the better question is, what y'all got going on tonight? Y'all doing something? Y'all going somewhere? Who y'all with? Where y'all going? I don't even like the club. That's so funny. Anyway, thank you for sticking around to the end of the video. As always, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. It means a lot to me and the YouTube algorithm. If you did, it helps me to continue to make videos like this and supports the channel. Also, don't forget to click that like button because it lets the YouTube algorithm know that you like videos like this and I can continue to make content like this because I'm poor and I'm broke. Go ahead and check out my other videos about car reviews if you're curious to know what other cars you should consider. Also, don't forget to look at my car buying videos because they do help you to buy the cars. And when my book is ready, y'all better buy it. With that being said, leave a comment, share, subscribe, do what you need to do. I don't care. I just want you to love this channel and this content. So until the next video, I will see you guys later.